We have now at our company two ladies from India and make a kind of practice.
First of all, I welcome all of you, all the guests, especially from Germany, on behalf of Shri Rajnath Singh Ji, Honorable Defence Minister and Sitting Member Parliament from Lucknow, and on my behalf. It had been really a mind-boggling session. It triggered my thinking. I passed out MSc Physics in 1970, 52 years ago. And my minister also is MSc in Physics. And many a times we used to just communicate in those wavelengths and you could understand quickly. So I was thinking, classical physics said there are only 3 dimensions. The 4th one was added with the invent of Einstein that time. And now I am witnessing innumerable dimensions. Innumerable dimensions. Like in integral calculus we used to do from minus infinity to plus infinity. So this is what I am witnessing today. Minus infinity to plus infinity. God had blessed us with certain sensors, but they are quite few in comparison to what I witnessed here. I witnessed here. And I want to emphasize that you are entering Lucknow at a very, very right point of time. You are going to have a huge market here in this city. Why? See, Lucknow used to be a very traditional old kind of city with no trade, no commerce, only some scientific labs under CSIR and some good institutions. Very small population and no master planning. It all began in year 2000 when we started urban planning to develop the city in all aspects, all kind of activities. It started. It started only with a small part of a ring road and a whole new habitation along Shahid Bagh, 24 kilometers long, came up. It's just completely different skyline. For last 20 years, Lucknow added 1 lakh population and 1 lakh vehicles every year. The population was 22 lakhs in 2000. Now it is becoming around 5 millions. Number of vehicles was only 5 lakhs in 2000 and now it is reaching around 27 lakhs registered vehicles and the growth is continuing. With this tenure of Mr. Rajnath Singh in 2014, see the earlier ring road, earlier Shahid Path was also got constructed by him only in 2000 when he was Minister Surface Transport in the central government. And then again in 2014 when he was elected MP from here, he said, what else now we can do? I suggested him an outer ring road will do a lot, contribute a lot. Then railway terminus, and then augmentation of water supply in River Gomti. He started all with that. In 2015, 104 kilometer long, 8-lane outer ring road was sanctioned with a cost of 6,000 crores. It was declared in May 2015. And during 4 quarters in year 2016, Knight Frank Global Agency marked Lucknow in top 10 cities in the world which recorded fastest growth in the urban land prices. Again in 2018, when the Civil Aviation Ministry conducted a survey, it found that the air traffic footfall grew fastest in Lucknow at the rate of 24%, while the rate of growth in the country was around 13%. Then the Government of India sanctioned around 1400 crore, 1400 crores for expanding its handling capacity from 5.5 million to 10 million, which is in progress. Then the master planning, urban planning work was taken up. We had only 2-3 things in mind. Since I was associated with the Development Authority of Lucknow, I had 2 tenures. So I learned a lot of urban planning, lot about urban planning. And the concept was that with very fast mobility and huge consumer demand, we can change the scenario. So we worked on that, inner mobility as well as outer mobility. Lucknow at present is connected or is going to be connected with all around cities of this state with 3 expressways and 7 highways, more than 4 lane and 6 lanes. So, and this geographic dividend is very important. It is almost a center of a population of around 22 crores. And around other states also. Big demand if the mobility is very fast. Incidentally, another important development was construction of Ram Mandir. By next year, when it is completed, end of the next year, we expect that around 3 crore, 30 million people per year will pass through Lucknow to visit Ayodhya. And we expect when they return, since Ayodhya doesn't have so much of staying facility, hotels and all, people will like to stay overnight at least here in Lucknow, visit Lucknow heritage areas, witness Lucknow's tehzeeb. So there will be a lot of boost to hospitality industry. At the moment, even warehousing industry is growing at a very fast pace. And in the meantime, Honorable Defense Minister got BrahMos missile factory inaugurated, just stone laying ceremony, and factory compound is under construction. The state government has given 200 acres of land along with a testing lab facility of DRDO. BrahMos missile factory is assisted by more than 100 ancillaries in the production of missiles. So what we expect in near future is a lot of ancillaries in the defense sector, very huge congregation of warehousing, and a huge development in hospitality sector. That is definitely going to provide you huge market here only. So this is why I told you that this is the very right time when you have entered. You are going to enjoy a very huge market. With this thing in mind, we recommended to the government that in the pattern of the national capital region around Delhi, we must expand our development boundary beyond district of Lucknow. So a state capital region was envisaged, and the government has almost approved it, and we will be having orders issued very early, because the pace of development is so fast, so high, that we require huge land. With this level of activity, you will enjoy the market. And then simultaneously we are going to face lot many problems. Growing population, growing pressure on utilities, day-to-day facilities, problems of transport, hospitals, and so many other things. They will all require your help. And incidentally, we are again under, I recommended to the state government way back in 2019 that your plan is obsolete and you must get it revised as soon as possible. Government ordered that, and the revision of the master plan is just on. And next week, very next week, we are going to have a presentation and a discussion throughout the sectors in Lucknow Development Authority. I was just thinking that we will invite you. How do you suggest tackling so many emerging problems which have not been to our experience, and how those problems can be handled? So many things. I was just
pre-configure this room and all those things, and do all the things. All the same as, for example, in retail, we make a heat map. We can see, okay, in this area, the people like to be, so the expensive stuff is there to be more effective to process. For example, that is a big thing, for example, in Germany, the heat maps for retail stores. When you go into the supermarket or something, they know where the most of the people are, where they like to be, and then the expensive things are there. Yeah. So, the same thing, you see, now we're talking about buildings, but the same thing we can do here in the traffic lighting or something else. You can put the same device in the pole, connect with video or whatever. We can control and the luminaires. For example, when we see there's no one in the night, then we dim the lights maybe by 30% or something else. When a car is coming, every 2 luminaires in front of you, it goes to 100% or something else. We can use it also as an emergency pole then, because data is available, so we can use it. So the same is, for example, parking places. So with our sensors, we can see is there a car, we can open the barriers, we can give you access to the parking places, all the things can be played. You can have an emergency point or whatever when something happened, all the possibilities. So I think that is what we explained before. For our hospitals, for example, that we can measure everything, we can use the equipment more efficient and all those things. Then, for example, we can concentrate the maintenance everything in one place. So we see when the luminaire is not working, when the machine is stolen or whatever, when there's some trouble with the air condition. We measure everything, we see the power consumption, and then we can organize the maintenance much more efficient. So, you see, we have already used this technology. It's not only an idea. So we use it, for example, in the airport in Dubai, 14,000 of devices, we have 13,000 mentioned. We have it in hospitals. For example, the most famous hospital in Berlin is the Charité. For example, they use this equipment. And also in most of the universities in Germany, they use it. So it's more or less a standard. And now we've, together with our colleagues here in India, we want to have more application, more solutions that can use this technology. Okay, I think that's all. The one sleep, so was okay. Thank you.
The main idea was always that we have to upgrade the quality of life. We have to make this as a which can impact the whole civilization of Lucknow who are staying here. So how do we do that? So what basically the idea is, okay? So what we are going to do is to bring the manufacturers and service providers close to the market. That is our first idea and target, okay? So, and how do we do that? Why do Microsens or companies like Microsens come to Lucknow? So we will be providing them infrastructure, we will be providing them opportunities to come and produce in Lucknow, sell in Lucknow, take it globally. So we'll be also creating an experience center where the new companies which will be coming, they will not start with a factory, right? So they will start with a concept. They will show how their products are used in an IoT world. So we'll be creating an experience center where virtually you can actually see their products, the applications of those products, and then we will be also enabling their sales in India, and once it reaches a threshold, then we will invite them to set up the manufacturing location here. And all this will happen in a state-of-the-art building. What you can see, in next slides, that it would be a ready-made factory where people will come and they can start the production in few months. That is the basic idea. So in next few months, and we have already started this journey, last couple of days, that we are shortlisting the list of all IoT components, which are required to make the domain live. So we are not going to sell only products from this Lucknow IoT park. We are going to sell total solutions. Okay, so we'll be selecting few domains to start with. Okay, so maybe agriculture is a domain, for example. Traffic management is a domain. Climate change is a domain. Smart building is a domain. So like that, we'll be selecting domains, and we will make an ecosystem of all the items which are required to make that domain live. So we will just not, why people get shocked and awed by IoT word, what is IoT? Because there are so many components, so many elements in it. There are software, there are hardwares. What will make it work? It is not very common, right? Means it's not very. People are not very familiar. Only few technical people, or you have to go to consultants to make the whole ambit of what the IoT application is all about clear. So what we are going to do is to select the domain, and then we are bringing all suppliers related to that domain in one place. So we will be able to sell solutions to the state. Okay. So this is how we are conceptualizing. So this is just a thing, something in our mind right now, that it would be a facility. What we think about 70 manufacturers would be there minimum, which will be required for making this whole ecosystem. And why only? So one of the questions was why only Uttar Pradesh? So because this is the state with 22-25 crore people, right? And this is the state which requires IoT the most for welfare of their people. How do you reach to the remotest and the remote of the place? How do you do that? So we take advantage of the IoT and the technology which will enable us to do that. So we found that UP has been the most progressive and responsive. We have in last few months we have been able to connect with so many people, and we got so positive response from everyone that we are so encouraged that that we thought that this is the place where we could start our journey from. And again, as I said, this has been one of the largest state probably of the world, not only of India. That here the opportunities are most. The application you think, you will find a way to implement it in this state. So we have to. This is the state where you can do all kind of experiments and also implement those. So that is why Lucknow. And why Lucknow? Because since this field is new, so we have to be very close to the regulators, talk to them every day, frame up things. We have to work with the customers on one side, at the same time on the regulator to set things up, to set the specifications, to make sure that we are connected with every day, on a daily basis, to devise a mechanism and how to implement IoT in all fields and walks of life. I think Lucknow is the best place to be. So this building, what we are, this is something which our developers would be developing with us. So we have partners already who are present in this meeting who have shared this idea and their interest on how it would be done. So this would be a state-of-the-art building which would be like vertical building. It's called a vertical factory. We are calling it as a sky building, and this will host all the manufacturing of the factories what we are trying to bring to Lucknow. Okay, so this would have all common facilities. It would be a state of the art. Since this is the factory which will be building IoT components, this would be itself a showcase and a center where people can come and see how IoT can be implemented in a smart building, for example, to start with. So this would be the most state-of-the-art buildings. I'll talk about few features in a few seconds as well. So this would have a high. So the idea is that the basement of this building would be complete warehouse for all the factories. There will be hyperloop system which will be connected to each of the floor where the material will flow. It would have an experience center where people can come and share their. So it's not only for the suppliers. So for example, we have been actively discussing with few hydropower plant companies to set up their whole control center in one location. So all the power plants in Uttar Pradesh, for example, can be monitored, can be controlled, can be, all the predictive maintenance, preventive maintenance, and can be done from one location for all kind of power plants, for the transmission and distribution. So there's a very big application on the industrial side and as well as the urban modernization as well. So the applications are immense. Okay, so probably this building will be also too short if as we move ahead. So this would be, and why it is vertical. Our idea is to reduce the footprint. There is no reason why we should go vertical. You can see that there are a lot of Microsens, sensors, switches which are there. So you require a very different kind of manufacturing facility for electronics and IoT industry. Okay, so this is not a massive plant, in acres, which is generating pollution. So this is a very different kind of a ecosystem what we need, and this ecosystem can be created in a vertical building, and it can reduce, the footprint, and we go vertical with taking that advantage. It would have a shared testing facility, shared quality control facility, shared R&D lab. So we have also, we have invited colleges in this room. So we will be also closely working with colleges, and their R&D will be one of the major, component of this whole initiative, because it is not only this whole IoT world is evolving. So nothing is permanent here. Everything changes so fast that you have to cope up with the change and bring in new application, new development ideas and thoughts in this. We have to incorporate that. Otherwise, we will become obsolete in few months. So that is how fast this world moves. So, and in this, once, the idea is that this whole building would be one-stop shop for any kind of application. So when a customer comes and he wants to have a solution, we'll talk about few applications in a few minutes. If he wants to have, for example, if he wants to have a stray cattle, they have a problem of stray cattle. How do I solve it? So he goes back with a total solution that, how we implement the sensors, how we take the data, how we process it, what do we do with that. So he will get a total solution from this particular location. So that is our idea. And there are different kind of layers in this whole thing. So there will be one team which will be only giving solutions, one team which will be doing the manufacturing, one team will be bringing the companies here, attracting them. So that it would be a big ecosystem of a lot of stakeholders in this whole initiative. So just to give you some statistics, I think most of you already know that, but just some interesting things that there are 7 billion connected IoT application devices today around the globe. And in 2020, in fact, the non-IoT devices were less than the IoT-enabled devices. So 2020 was a year when the IoT-enabled devices took over. Now, IoT is just as simple as the gentleman on the left side explained, that any device which can be connected is IoT device. So you can imagine that today, whatever gadgets we have in the room, everything can be, most of it, probably can be connected. Whether it is connected or not, that is a separate issue, but everything can be connected. The light can be connected, this laptop can be connected, the presentation, what we are showing, can be seen anywhere in the world. Our phones are connected. So every gadget what you see in this room can be connected if it is not already connected. So, and there are various platforms on which different application works. And just for you to know that today the applications are not towards welfare of the society or of the people. We are starting that with smart cities, smart traffic, smart building, but most of it is most active in the video entertainment world in today's how it is going. So and it receives a lot of funding as well. So I think money is not a criteria for if you have the right product to develop. So just to show you a few applications, okay, like on the right hand side you can see how Bangalore city is growing. Okay? So you can actually visualize that how the city grew in a few weeks or a month, or for that matter in years. So you can plan your urban development in a proper way, whether we are going in the right direction or not. So most of the time we see the floods are happening because of unplanned growth. So you can take help and support of the IoT devices that where your people should be and where our population should not be. So you can actually see, for example, how a river swells over a period of time. So this is okay, I don't know why it is not showing here. So anyway, on my laptop I can see this, it's not being reflected here. So you can actually see the growth of...
This is a retail building in Hamburg, which is integrated in this old facade. Of Mindcubes 1. We are also a turnkey developer of data center. Mindcubes 1 is one of them. And of course, if you develop a data center, you need the hull, you need the building, you need HVAC, what we also do for ourselves, and you need network technology, which we also have. We are glad to have that in our group. So this is a campus for a bank in Bremen we have completely developed. That is a living quarter in the city of Berlin near the River Spree, which is developed. Office centers we do, that is located in Bremen. That is a very huge retail, living and office area developed in Düsseldorf. Only to show that there's a total investment of 200 million euros. I think that is also we talking about here when we see the building or a bit more. So what is the main message when I show you these pictures is that Microsens is a mid-sized company in Germany. We are family owned, but what we are doing is we are very financially strong. And we stand behind the plans of Frank Konrad being here a partner, and that is the main message I want to give you. So we know what we are doing, and it is not only advertisement, it is reality. So here is one project. We are also corporate partner of Mercedes-Benz in Germany, so we are building every construction plant, so every plant factory for Mercedes-Benz, but not only in Germany, also as we have our construction company in Brazil. This is a Mercedes-Benz car production plant in, I cannot spell the name, in Brazil. And this office building in Sao Paulo in Brazil. So you see we are also overseas. And this is an office building in Rio de Janeiro, which we have completely have done not only the construction, it was a project development also. And as we are have the philosophy that we need to do everything for ourselves, we are also engaged in transport of soil and in street construction and in tunneling. So all engineering construction is also can be done by Zech Group. And 2 weeks ago, it's really fresh, 2 weeks ago we have acquired a 560 billion turnover turnkey tunnel company, Weiss and Freitag. Probably you haven't heard, but it's one of the biggest tunneling construction companies in Germany and in Europe. So we have acquired that from a Dutch company. So now we have expanded our business from office building, real estate, also to engineering and groundworks. So that is a bit a hobby of Mr. Zech himself. We have also in our group hotels, and the hotels we have 3 brands. It is probably you haven't heard and you will not know. You need to come to Germany to come in this nice hotel on the island of Sylt in the North Sea region. I think it's one of the most modern 5-star hotels we have at the moment in Germany. And we have a second brand, which is Atlantic Hotel. It's a typical 4-star business hotel, which is located, I think, at the moment at 7 locations in Germany, but it is still expanding. And we have a low-budget design hotel for tourists, students, and low-budget travelers also in our group. So, but that is more or less, Mr. Zech always said, my grandchildren will earn some money with this hotels. It is more or less a hobby of himself. So this is Atlantic Congress Hotel, and that is a bit. Oh yes, we are also engaged in building of sports arenas, stadiums, and this is a picture of Stuttgart Bundesliga soccer club, where we are also responsible for construction, but also for maintenance, daily maintenance, and for in the stadium. So that is that was my introduction. Again, thank you very much for having the chance of being a partner here. Thank you.
At the college, you have so many companies come recruit students. But then all of them leave Uttar Pradesh and they go to some other states like Karnataka or Maharashtra or Delhi. Imagine if we have a platform like this where these people don't go, and instead of seeking jobs, there are startups. There's going to be an emergence of startups.
You're looking for one of the students right here. I also
Welcome back.
IIT Lucknow, and then we are working out there. Go ahead. So Frank, I want to give the mic to you because last time we were discussing with REC Banda. So there is a college in Banda where they had set up a IoT lab, and we invited their team to meet Frank. He gifted him one of the, and he was not getting the reservation. But now with this expressway opening up, Delhi is 5 hours. So that's the beauty of our infrastructure, as you just now said, developing. Now Frank had some ideas to say how education should be handled in engineering college. Frank, I think we discussed with the gentleman, where you said that the engineering students, when they should get the IoT knowledge. I think that's important.
First of all, I can compare it every time between Germany and here. So in Germany we have a lot of nice buildings, so everything is planned, but no change. Every time when we work together here with these students or with people from this area, they have new ideas. And that helps us to invent our technology and everything. And I think it's a kind of mentality in this area, also from the students. Every time when we have an idea, in Germany it's normally you discuss what are the problems, what is the reason not to do it. And when I'm here, every time they say, okay, I have an idea, let us try it. And we have a lot of people with a lot of ideas and something like that, and that is motivating me to invest time, money, and a lot of hardware also in this area, because I find the people, they want to be a leader in this IoT market. And I think this is very important. They're willing to be the leader, or that they say Lucknow will be the head of IoT or the capital of IoT. I think that is important for us to invest here.
Thank you so much, Frank. Second, I want you to speak because you also are very, very oriented towards education. I think you have a dream after you have done all this, then you want to be a professor or what? What is the
Yeah.
First of all, he is
Invitation.
Yeah, he's an employee of Microsens. I mean, I'm not taking away. No. I mean, after some years.
Okay.
Yeah, basically my aim is to give back to the society, to the students, whatever we have learned, and I keep doing this on time to time. What Shefali ma'am just said, that students will not go outside Lucknow because of the initiative that has been taken up. I would go one step further. I come from Maharashtra, from Pune, and it's again a cultural and educational hub. I foresee that students are coming to Lucknow to learn instead of going outside, right? So that's the future I see in these initiatives. One thing I clearly feel that with IoT and its applications, the students should start training, should start imparting knowledge to them right from the start, and not only in the project levels, right? Typically, students do at the project level. So when I met the professor from Banda, he's a very young, dynamic person. He had really taken an initiative where he had made the batches from first year to final year, right? And then that's how he's taking an IoT or the skills development of the students ahead. So that's what I clearly feel that we should be doing, and that will give overall students to be industry ready. The complaint that comes from the industry that students are at times not ready for the industry. I think these all initiatives are going to really help for the students to be industry ready. Thanks.
Yes. So now the mic goes to my colleagues from IIM and the institution. Your views.
Yeah, so as we understand that IoT is one very, very important technology which is going to take a space in the future, and it's already there. So we had the auctions of 5G a few days back, all of us are aware, and that is also going to add to this entire infrastructure of creation of new application, use cases, etc. So what we figure out here is that we're talking about lots of use cases, not only buildings, we're talking about driverless cars. Driverless cars may not be applicable in the Indian context, but if we take it to a scenario where you have a mine and which is very poisonous and you're sending in labors, instead of that you could send an IoT-enabled, deep learning capable driverless wagon. It could actually do the thing that a human being does. So there are n number of these applications which are there, and I think government of India and the Uttar Pradesh government is taking the right steps towards this. And in our curriculum also we have got multiple applications. We actually sensitize our students in various courses about the capabilities that this technology has for the future. And I'm sure that in Lucknow also we're going to see those real applications getting rolled out. As I understand, we already have the Lucknow Municipality Corporation which is working on the smart city project, and there are 100 smart cities in India which has been identified, and we are also working on that. Lucknow the city is working on that. So I'm sure that we are making the strides in the right direction, and it has to be done holistically. As we understand, it's a stakeholder, it's an ecosystem actually, and it's the right step that we are making here, that everybody has to be on board. So students, faculty members, academia, industry, CSI and other CII, so all the entities should have to work hand in hand, and then this can become a real success in the future. And as we understand that we already have it, so I think most of us are wearing Fitbit. That's also an example of an IoT. So we monitor our heartbeats, how many steps we have taken. So it's already there, and we all need to find out one more killer application which can actually go out to the society. And as Sir mentioned that about how we could actually help the masses, that's where the real application is going to come in. That's where the real benefit is going to come in, because if we can impact, as one of you just mentioned, in a warehouse, if I can just reduce even 2% of that wastage, that means I can feed so many more hungry people in my country. That's going to be a real game changer. So I think we should all work together and strive together to actually attain this noble cause that we are going to do, and it's really taking us to nation building actually. So we might be thinking at one level as it's a IoT project, but it's actually in multiple layers, and it's going towards nation building, and all of us are proudly in the 75th year of independence, and we are talking about Amrit Mahotsav, and that's where we should be striving towards to make this a real success. Thank you.
So, good afternoon everyone. I am on behalf of SIIC IT Kanpur Startup Incubation and Innovation Center. So we coming of this project basically, so it would be a great opportunity for these startups which are incubated in SIIC IT Kanpur, and the facilities that IIT Kanpur can provide to set up this project basically for becoming the world's best IoT center in Lucknow. And we have even supported startups basically in IoT domains as well, and we are looking forward to support the innovators which are basically in the IoT market or are upcoming in the IoT domain specifically, so that when they collaborate or wherever we can support them in any way, so that this project or this innovation can lead to a greater way or to the great extent. So this is all. Thank you.
Yeah, so we've got one more statements, things like. So if you want to talk to anything, you make that device equipped with a sensor, it will start talking. That is called IoT. And there is no limit. Future is every person will be carrying a 6 IoT device in next 10 years. Now we are carrying one handset, one tracking device.
Okay.
But future is very exciting for the IoT. That is all I can explain that in the 2 words.
ये दो शब्द बहुत कीमती थे. We have the IoT, which is our smartphones, but right now, ladies and gentlemen, I would not go much into deep about what IoT exactly is. But before that, we know what exactly IoT is and what IoT Park is. Right now, I would like to call upon stage one of the very dedicated, a person who had sleepless nights, who have been working day and night to make this possible. I would like to call upon stage Mr. Devashish Ganguly, who is the Vice President of IoT Park, to please share a welcome address to everybody. A huge round of applause for this amazing personality, a dedicated resource. So over to you.
Thank you, Apurva. I would say initially when we started this vision 3 or 4 months ago, this was our vision. But when I see excitement, when I see vision, when I see the participation, now this is not our vision, this is your vision. It was thought we should give to our Lucknow. Now it is your Lucknow. We thought let us make Lucknow the capital. The coming of you people gives the assertion, gives the embodiment that it is now not the Lucknow, the IoT capital of India. It will be the IoT capital of India. But why not? कुछ अगर बड़ा है, कुछ अगर नया है और कुछ असीमित संभावनाओं को सोचना है तो उत्तर प्रदेश ही वो जगह है. माननीय मुख्यमंत्री से मुलाकात भी जब हुई थी तो उन्होंने यही कहा था, कुछ एक नया होना चाहिए, ना भूतो ना भविष्य. कुछ ऐसा ही करना चाहिए जो बदलते उत्तर प्रदेश के प्रतिपक्ष को दिखाए, कुछ ये बताए कि यहाँ पे असीमित संभावना है. यही तो उत्तर प्रदेश की नई प्रमाण करता है, यही तो उत्तर प्रदेश को नया एक शिखर पे लेके जाएगा. आप लोग का आना, आप लोग का समारोह में सर यहाँ पे पार्टिसिपेशन करना, इस कंसेप्ट को प्रखरता ही नहीं प्रामाणिकता भी प्रदान कर रहा है. I am very happy to see the crowd participation. I am very happy to see now that we have wings to this dream. I am very happy to share that now India will be the rising partner. India will be the growing partner, and who will shape the story? Your Lucknow will shape the story. Our Lucknow will shape the story, and this will be the vision not only for Lucknow, this will be a vision part of the world. As yours Lucknow chicken is there, yours Lucknow IoT capital, our promise, our vision, our dedication will be in every part of the world. India shining story, India growing story. India is the king, India will grow the world, India will rise the world. And I would say thank you, I would say thanks, I would say welcome in to our German guests who have endorsed this proposal, who see this India shining story, who give endurance to Honorable CM's vision, who gives embodiment to Honorable PM's vision, who feel growth of India is made in India. The growth of India is made in Lucknow. So India and Lucknow will be synonymous. ये पर्यायवाची है, growth, Lucknow, IoT और प्रखरता और happiness. Why not make the Lucknow the IoT capital world? We will make the Lucknow the happiest capital of the world. We will be happy we will be united, we will be contented, and we will be connected. वासुदेव कुटुंबकम, यही हमारा शास्त्र ने सिखाया है. Everything is connected. पंच तत्व भी कनेक्टेड है, IoT में सब कुछ कनेक्टेड है. ये छोटा सा हम्बल प्रयास है. इस प्रयास को आगे बढ़ाने की जिम्मेदारी अब हमारी नहीं है. ये सब आप लोगों की है. आप लोगों का ही विश्वास, आप लोगों का ही विजन और डेडिकेशन इसको आगे लेके जाए. I would say thanks with this minimum address, and I keep the store, I keep the vision, I keep the podium open for all any participation that can make this dream, this desire, this movement a grand success. Thanks again, my dear friends, from the bottomless core of the heart, for coming over here, for giving the speech to the vision, for making this successful. Thanks for it. Thank you.